Thanks for checking out SYMFONI on YouTube. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos for updates.
Briefs and updates on the Armed Forces of Nigeria operational activities across the country. Today's brief will highlight our operational efforts and achievements in the various theaters of operation between the 18th and 30th June 2021. Within the period under review, the troops of the Armed Forces of Nigeria and other security agencies conducted various land, maritime, and air operations across the country. These operations yielded some tremendous successes in the various theaters. Now we look at Operation Hadarin Daji. Troops of Operation Hadarin Daji and other security agencies conducting operations in the North-West Zone executed a series of land and air operations concurrently between the 18th and 30th June 2021. These include raid, ambush, cordon and search, rescue and clearance operations. Troops also responded to distress calls within the period. Likewise, the air component of Operation Hadarin Daji conducted several air operations, such as aerial intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and air interdictions, and also gave covering for our ground troops. Following the credible intelligence report on criminal activities, troops simultaneously conducted these operations with zeal and zest in different locations. The operations were conducted on bandits and kidnappers' hideouts, as well as drug peddlers at Gusau Magami Road in Gusau local government area of Zamfara State, Makuku in Sakaba local government of Kebbi State, as well as Batsari and Jibia local government areas in Katsina State. Other locations include Angwarkade village in Safe local government area and Bingi village in Bunguru local government area of Zamfara State. The operations led to the repelling of and arrest of kidnappers and drug peddlers, who also confessed to supplying illicit drugs to minors as well as other criminal elements within the area. The operations also led to neutralization of some of the bandits and other criminal elements. The operations also involve peaceful resolution of farmers and herders' clashes, recovery of arms and ammunition, as well as rusted livestock. Also, it resulted in the rescue of kidnapped victims in various locations, including the students and teachers of Federal Government College in Birnin Yauri, Kebbi State, as well as some arrests of rescued of some trucks of rusted cattle in different locations of the theater. Also, gun runners, bandit logistics suppliers were also arrested, including one Lawali Nahabu, who was intercepted with truckloads of AGO at Tangaza local government area of Sokoto State, and one Malam Ibrahim Aliu, a wanted notorious bandit, was also arrested. Within the period also, the air component of Operation Hadarin Daji conducted a series of operations, provided close air support for our ground troops, and dominated the airspace within the period. On the whole, troops have continued to dominate the Operation Hadarin Daji theater of operation with aggressive fighting and confidence-building patrols to reassure citizens of the commitment of the Armed Forces of Nigeria to end all forms of criminalities within that zone. Now a look at Operation Hadarin Kai. Between the 18th and 30th June 2021, troops of Operation Hadarin Kai in the Northeast Zone simultaneously conducted several land and air operations. These were clearance operations and aggressive fighting patrols to deny terrorists freedom of movement and actions within different locations in the theater. Similarly, troops conducted ambush operations, responded to distress calls, repelled Boko Haram terrorist elements attacks on troops locations, and dominated the whole theater of operation. Equally, the air component of Operation Hadinkai conducted intelligence, surveillance, reconnaissance, and air interdiction missions to reveal and destroy terrorist enclaves, as well as their logistics, supplies, and equipment. Within the period, troops consistently struck at Boko Haram terrorist and Islamic State of West African province strongholds throughout the theater of operation. Some of the feats were achieved at Bulla village in Yobe and Banki town in Borno State on 27th and 28th June 2021, when our troops repelled their attacks and also conducted offensive and deep penetration operations into villages of the Timbuktu Triangle within the same period. Also, offensive actions were carried out against the terrorists, and many of their equipment were captured. Within the period, a total of 73 Boko Haram terrorists were killed, and the troops recovered 44 AK-47 rifles, 2 PKT guns, 7 anti-aircraft guns, 7 gun trucks, and heavy cache of ammunition of various calibers were equally captured by the troops. Other items include clothing, blankets, foodstuffs, generators, and some IED, that is improvised explosive device making materials, some religious scripts, and other items were recovered in the process. In another development on 27 June, a total of 55 escapees from terrorist camps, comprising of 15 adult males, 12 adult females, and 27 children, surrendered to own troops at Dara Jamel in Borno State. Also, on 27th of June 2021, the air component of Operation Hadinkai, in coordinated multiple airstrikes, destroyed some terrorist commanders' strongholds at the Lake Chad axis of Borno State. The airstrikes were targeted at various terrorist camps in Sambon Tumbu, Jibularam, and Kwalaram towns in the state. These air operations destroyed their spiritual base and training camps within the fringes of Lake Chad. These came on the heels of credible intelligence reports, which revealed that some of these terrorist commanders were holding a meeting at the said locations. Consequently, the air component mobilized with force packages of various NAC platforms and launched airstrikes at those locations, and they were equally taken out. Now we look at Operation Safe Haven. The troops of Operation Safe Haven between the same period under review carried out both kinetic and non-kinetic operations. Troops conducted a series of clearance patrols, raid in different parts of the location, in different parts of the zone. Additionally, troops also engaged in fighting patrols, responded to distress calls with extensive air operations. Operation Safe Haven also engaged in non-kinetic operations by holding peace and security meetings with various community and youth leaders, as well as other stakeholders within its area of operations. These operations were executed against bandits and other criminal elements in their enclaves in communities at Jos South local government and Gidan Dabat along Lafia Shendam Road in Plateau State. Other operations were conducted at Kaduna Forest, Kasai and Nafan villages in Barkinla, the local government area, as well as Barkinkaya in Wasa local government area of Plateau State. In the course of these operations, troops neutralized scores of armed bandits and other criminals. They also apprehended some gun runners and bandit informants and kidnappers. Troops also rescued kidnapped victims and recovered large herds of cattle and assorted arms and ammunition. Furthermore, troops held multiple security and peace meetings within the area of operations with youth and community leaders as well as stakeholders at Agwatiap Palace in Zangon Katab local government area of Kaduna State, the Emir's Palace in Wasi local government area, Tenti Area Command in Bokos local government area, and Barkin Ladi local government area headquarters, as well as Jos local government headquarters, all in Plateau State. The meetings were to sensitize stakeholders on the need to embrace peace and pave way for peaceful coexistence among them. Some of the issues discussed during the meeting centered also on farm destruction, night and underage grazing, livestock rustling, farm encroachment, and other security challenges. These meetings has helped in no small way in curtailing some of the criminal activities there, and all the stakeholders agreed and to embrace peace within the area. The troops have continued to dominate the theater with constant aggressive fighting and area patrols to deny criminals freedom of action. Now, Operation Wild Stroke. Troops of Operation Wild Stroke between 18th and 30th June 2021 sustained the operational tempo within its area of operation. The troops engaged in both kinetic and non-kinetic operations, ranging from fighting and confidence-building patrols, raid, clearance operations, as well as custom and search. They also responded to distress calls. Among the areas where the troops operated were Egba village in Agati local government area, Tse Ndeva in Bayongo Council Ward, and Bobo village in Katsina local government area. Other locations include Dion village and Sayengo village in Utangi Ward, Katsina Ala and Donto village in Otupo local government area of Benue State. The operations resulted in neutralization of scores of armed bandits, gang members, and other criminal elements. It also resulted in the recovery of large cache of ammunition and arms, including several AK-47 rifles, FN rifles, and assorted rounds of other ammunition. A large number of rusted livestock were also recovered. In addition, troops successfully quelled crisis between the Eza tribe Mudoke Ulani, Council Ward in Ado local government area of Benue State, and Effium tribe in Akparata in Ahoku local government area of Ebonyi State. Also, the operation held joint security meetings with other security agencies and stakeholders in Government Lodge in Takun local government area of Taraba State, with the governor and other government officials in attendance. Issues discussed during the meeting include cross-border clashes, kidnapping, cattle rustling, and constant attacks by communities by the Azonto-led militiamen. Consequently, stakeholders embraced peace initiatives and agreed to give peace a chance. Now, a look at Operation Delta Safe. Troops of Operation Delta Safe within the period conducted several operations to secure oil pipelines and other infrastructures, to deny economic saboteurs and prevent security breach. These included sustained anti-crude oil theft, anti-illegal oil bunkering, anti-smuggling, anti-militancy operations. These operations led to the deactivation of several oil refining sites and the connection of illegal oil pipelines. Troops also arrested several criminals, intercepted and confiscated large quantities of contraband vessels, as well as recovered weapons and stolen items, within the period under review. These operations were conducted at Sarah Creek in Warisa local government area and Ikoba community in Oka local government area of Delta State. Others are Lagos bus stop by railway station in Port Harcourt, Jokri, Opwadakri, and John Bosco areas, as well as Asapama Creek and Car Community Market in Kana local government area of Rivers State. During these operations, several illegal oil refining units with ovens, metal storage tanks, coffer dams, and dugout pits were deactivated, while large quantities of illegally refined automated gas oil and stolen crude oil were recovered. Troops also arrested kidnappers and other persons, with several trucks laden with large quantities of illegal refined oil products in tanks and nylon sacks. On the whole, troops remain high alert to offensively respond to threats and deter any form of unpredictable criminal activities within the theater of operation. Now we look at Operation Awatsi. Operation Awatsi activities within the period involved routine patrols to forestall activities of vandals on NNPC pipelines at Gaon, Akute, Wawa 1 and 2, and Magbero areas. Additionally, troops carried out standing patrols, raid operations at strategic areas within this zone, including Majidun area, during which one Mr. Ibrahim Musa, an Islamic State West African province member, who was arrested at number 31 Abattoir Street in Sangota, Ogun State. Intelligence reports revealed that Ibrahim was on a mission to Lagos to acquire certain items for ISWAP operations in Maiduguri. In another development, own troops acting on intelligence report on ongoing illegal oil bunkering activity at Alimosho NNPC pipeline, arrested one Mr. Oyeshola Sahid, acting as the illegal bunker supervisor. However, he also named one Mr. Akombi as the sponsor and financier of the illegal bunkering activities in the area. Both vehicles and equipment used for the operations were recovered and handed over to appropriate security agencies for necessary. Now a look at some of our civil-military cooperation activities within the period under review. It will be recalled that on 24 June, the Chief of Defense Staff, General L.E.O. Irabo, met with retired senior officers from the Western Zone to discuss ways out of the current security challenges in the country. The interaction was part of efforts aimed at tracing the root cause of security challenges in the country and to tap from the wealth of experience and knowledge of retired officers and other stakeholders. The Chief of Defense Staff also mentioned that the Armed Forces of Nigeria will leverage on the wealth of experience of the retired officers for the betterment of the zone and the country in general. He also affirmed that the military had been reassessing its operational engagement on a regular basis to improve the security of the country. In the same vein, the Chief of Defense Staff called on Nigerians to be more united for the strength and progress of the country. He made this call in Ibadan while unveiling the Nigerian's biggest flag, which covers an area of 3,275.6 square meters and a length of 75.3 meters and a width of 43.5 meters. The new flag was facilitated by Mr. Babajide Ogunsanwo, and the designer of the Nigerian flag, Pa Taiwo Akinkumi, was also in attendance. Furthermore, on our civil-military cooperation activities, the Defense Headquarters organized a 3-day skill acquisition training for veterans in Gombe from the 23rd to 25th June 2021. This is equal to the Chief of Defense Directive to train retired military veterans in various skills to enable them engage in productive ventures, rather than be tempted to avail their military skills to undeserving elements. The exercise was history and was conducted in collaboration with Nigerian Export Promotion Council and the Small and Medium Development Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, we assure Nigerians that the armed forces of Nigeria will not relent on its efforts to fight all forms of criminalities until relative peace is returned to our dear nation. We will continue to intensify our operational activities to deny criminals freedom of operation and will remain resolute to take decisive and adequate actions to abate all forms of criminalities and other vices in the country. The Military High Command lauds the efforts of the troops for keeping up the tempo and encourages the general public to support our efforts by providing credible and timely information that will facilitate our proactive engagements.